This is News 8 Now at noon.
Good afternoon and thank you for watching News 8 Now. I'm Sophia Pullman. It is Wednesday, April 26th. Let's get to some news today. Floodwaters are heading towards homes in Prairie du Chien. Volunteers and residents have spent the past few days filling and placing sandbags. News 8 Now's Dua Ishrar spoke to those people as they put on their boots and got to work.
The river in Prairie du Chien is 24 feet high. In terms of record, it's the second highest that this city has seen. From where I'm standing, I'm currently 1 foot underwater. The houses behind me, their basements are 6 feet underwater. Community members came hand in hand for those who couldn't make it out of their front door.
Probably start taking a boat here tomorrow to get in there.
In Prairie du Chien, flood levels continue to rise.
We have about 6 feet right now in our basement, but it's not to the first level yet, so we're doing okay.
That's why volunteers have been filling sandbags at the request of those affected.
It's a possibility that we may do this tomorrow. It all depends on what the river does and what people's needs are at that point. We want to try to fulfill whatever needs is possible.
Volunteers have sent out roughly 90 pickup trucks with sandbags.
High school all came yesterday. They let all the kids get out, I think, at 11, and they got to come and volunteer, and they came on a bus and started sandbagging all the houses. So it was a really cool thing. It was great for the community that they all got to come.
This community says it will continue to show up for one another until the water washes away. The water is expected to continue rising several inches because the river hasn't reached its crest. Reporting in Prairie du Chien, Dua Ishrar, News 8 Now.
People can put in requests for sandbags by calling the Crawford County Chamber of Commerce.
Well, besides the flooding, our weather here across the Coulee region is looking nice. We're looking mostly sunny, so thankfully dry conditions here today, but that will be changing here over the next few days as we do have some rain chances, which we'll get to here a little bit later. But as you can see right now, things are looking quiet. We do have a few clouds down to the south, but other than that, skies, again, mostly sunny with temperatures into the 40s and 50s. In fact, in Eau Claire, it's currently at 46. La Crosse is at 50. Black River Falls at 49. Winona's at 48 degrees. Prairie du Chien and Boscobel are both at 50. Beautiful view there from CityCam in downtown La Crosse, and we're going to be looking at mixed clouds and sunshine throughout the rest of the afternoon. Still unseasonably cool, however, for this time of the year in terms of our temperatures, with highs into the mid-50s here later this afternoon with a light southerly wind at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Stay tuned. I'll have a check on your full weather forecast in a few minutes, and we'll talk about some of those rain chances that we're expecting later this week. Sophia?
North of La Crosse, a section of Highway 35 is closed as the river floods over downtown Fountain City. The Buffalo County Sheriff is encouraging drivers, especially truck drivers, to follow detours to avoid hitting the road closure. He also warns against going out on the water.
I did see a boat out yesterday. Actually, a couple people are still trying to fish, but it's definitely not advised to be out fishing right now. The current is way too high.
Volunteers have been working to fill and place sandbags around buildings. The sheriff says so far it's just businesses being affected by floodwaters. He says they expect the flooding and road closure to possibly last through the weekend. He adds that once the water withdraws, everyone should come over and help the businesses who will be recovering from the flood. Back in La Crosse, floodwaters have made their way into the Logger Stadium in Copeland Park. Flooding at the stadium has postponed several UWL and MVC high school baseball games. La Crosse Loggers general manager Ben Kapanke says this kind of flooding is something the team hasn't seen before. And since the field is made up of several materials, they aren't sure what will happen once the water drains away.
Well, we just don't know, like, what, half the field is turf, half the field's grass, what that's going to do for, obviously, the grass in the outfield, but then underneath with that turf, there's a good 12 feet of crushed rock under there. We have sand and rubber that are used to make the field safe, playable, and we just don't know what that's going to look like when the water recedes.
Kapanke hopes the park will be open soon as the logger season begins on May 30th, but they aren't the only ones being affected by floodwaters. Contractors working on riverboats can't reach them. Ellis Inman is part of the Julia Bell Swain maintenance crew. Although it's been tough for the team, they are keeping positive.
The worst part with the high water is it's keeping our contractors from actually getting out to the boats. So there's plenty of shop work for them to do and other jobs they have to work on. So nobody's hurting real bad. As long as the boats come out safe, we'll get back to work in a little over a week and everything will be fine.
Have a good day.
You too.
If flood levels don't rise, Inman and the team believe their boats will be okay and on schedule to ride the river. Coming up after the break, the proposition Wisconsin lawmakers are making that could reduce the amount of taxes you owe.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
In our consumer news this morning, Wisconsin Senate Majority Leader Devin Lemieux says the state's Republicans support cutting taxes for all income earners, even if there's not enough for a flat tax rate. He told reporters that he wants to pass something that would lower everyone's rates. Governor Tony Evers has suggested cuts that target low and middle income earners. Both Democrats and Republicans say they want to use the state's projected $7 billion surplus to cut tax rates. Across the river, Minnesota lawmakers are also considering a red flag law to allow temporary confiscation of guns from people that may be a threat to themselves and others. Another proposal would expand background checks for selling firearms. These measures are part of a larger public safety bill going through the House. It's not clear if these will make it through the state Senate, but Governor Walz has decided to sign them if they make it to his desk. Minnesota lawmakers are also moving along legal cannabis legislation. Minnesota's House passed a bill that would make recreational cannabis available to people 21 and older. A Senate vote on the bill is scheduled for Friday. The bill would also erase misdemeanor cannabis cases and fund education, treatment, and law enforcement programs. Governor Tim Walz said he will sign it if it reaches his desk. As we head to break, here's a live look at the New York Stock Exchange. Stay with us. More news is next. In our medical news this morning, there's a good chance you've already sent or received one today. We're talking about emojis. The interactive icons are designed to help us express our feelings, but a new study suggests they're doing just the opposite. CBS's Ian Lee reports.
The small and sometimes silly symbols convey our emotions when words won't do. What's your favorite emoji?
You know, you're laughing and you're crying at the same time.
Probably either the cry laughy face or the girl that's going like this.
What is your favorite emoji?
This, you had your face.
Moyu Lu led a study out of Japan analyzing whether the emojis people send show how they really feel.
We need those yellow faces to help us to express.
Researchers studied the emoji interactions of more than 1,200 people and found happy emojis were often used to mask negative emotions, to make a message seem more positive.
Personally, I have done this before, and maybe I think people are doing the same things with me.
I do that to my aunties on WhatsApp when they send these videos that are just not funny.
The study found people were most likely to fake their feelings when talking to people of a higher social status or in a group chat versus one-on-one. Researchers also found a possible link between those who hid their feelings and mental health.
Managing emotions using those emojis can be weakly associated with depressive symptoms.
So the next time you're faced with a screen full of emojis, experts suggest choosing one that truly matches your mood.
A trend report from Adobe last year revealed the top favorite emojis for Americans. The crying while laughing emoji topped the list, followed by the thumbs up, heart, rolling on the floor laughing, and the sad emoji with a teardrop. That's it for your morning medical news. Here's a look at CityCam 8. Derek is in next with our forecast.
Well, it's a nice start to the afternoon. We are seeing just a few clouds. You can see mainly cumulus and stratocumulus clouds there in the sky. But other than that, things are looking pretty quiet here in La Crosse with temperatures at 50 degrees, visibility at 10 miles. The wind is around 4 miles an hour. Mississippi River stage 15.87 feet. Luckily, though, it is dropping here currently. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, we are looking at 46 degrees with clear and calm weather conditions here. Wind speeds only around 3 miles an hour. 767.5 is what the Chippewa River is currently registering, and that is dropping. Meantime, visibility looking good at 10 miles. I do want to give you a quick update here on the river levels here, and you can see pretty much everywhere along the Mississippi, or at least a handful of locations along the Mississippi, are running at major flooding criteria. It is expected to crest here in Wabasha today, also in Winona. La Crosse, you are forecast at least to crest into tomorrow. Some indications are that you could crest, though, as early as today. We'll keep our eyes on that. Trempealeau, you're expected to crest here today at 651.2. So let's get a check on those current temperatures across the area now. 40s and 50s is what can currently be said. 50 degrees in both Sparta and Black River Falls. Meanwhile, in Winona, you're currently at 48 degrees. So here's a check on your day planner. Mostly cloudy for at least a little while at around 52 around 1 o'clock, but then partly cloudy at 3 p.m. 56 degrees, turning mostly sunny 56 degrees by 5 p.m. and then 55 mostly clear skies as we head into early this evening. Skies right now are looking nice and clear across the area thanks to high pressure here at the surface. We're watching a disturbance back towards the west. You can see a couple of fronts there. That is expected to move our way. In fact, you could see some showers here in the vicinity of the Dakotas and western Minnesota, and that could give us some rain chances later this week, which we'll get to here in a second. Forecast highs today, by the way, into the mid to upper 50s with a high today for you in La Crosse of 58 degrees. And by the way, you know, these temperatures are unseasonably cool for this time of the year. They are expected to continue to remain on the cool side over the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook according to the Climate Prediction Center. So it looks like our temperatures will remain well below average around here for at least a little while longer. High pressure across the Great Lakes is going to move out. We're watching that weak disturbance that we mentioned back to the west moving in as we head into early tomorrow morning. That could give us a little bit of some rain chances to work with. And then this system is going to evolve here across the Great Lakes. It may meander here a little bit to give us some scattered showers to work with as we head into Friday. And also you can see as we head into this weekend. So that's why our rain chances are looking at least pretty decent here as we get closer towards the end of the week. And you'll see that here on the 8-day forecast as well, as a matter of fact. In fact, as we head into Friday, we're looking at 40% chances of showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms there. Otherwise, we expect some scattered showers here as we head into this weekend with high temperatures mainly into the 50s. Now, before we cool down to the 50s again, we're at least going to warm up here tomorrow and Friday to those mid to upper 60s before that cool down arrives this weekend, and then once again into early next week. Unfortunately, not really a whole lot of sunshine after today. Because the clouds will increase. I know you don't like to hear that, but it is something that we'll have to deal with too.
I definitely don't like to hear it.
Yeah.
The 70s and 80s I am missing.
It's coming. You know, in May we see a lot of the 70s around here after that first week, typically, so we'll keep our eye on it. But enjoy the sunshine today because, you know, it's that mixed sun and clouds type of day. Tomorrow and into the weekend, we're going to start to see those clouds and rain showers. So.
All my friends that live in the South, I tried explaining to them how on Thursday and Friday it was 80, and then on Sunday we got snow.
That's the upper Midwest for you. Sounds about right.
That's just how it goes. When we return, the twin duo setting records on the track in Iowa. Stay with us.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Identical twin sisters from Iowa are causing people to do a double take, and it's not just because they look alike. The two track stars have the best 400-meter time in the state of Iowa. Jack Litto spoke to the duo about their accomplishments on the track.
Sydney and Addison go stride for stride. They've been doing it since, literally, day one. For the identical twins, there's been some confusion on the track.
You get used to it. I've been asked about it a lot. Like, I know they've had like people sitting behind them like, what, she's running a race, she just finished the 400 or something like that. They see people running like 6 events and they're like, what, who is this girl? And then there's 2 of us. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I have coaches say, how can you tell them apart? You know, I'm able to, and so are our other coaching staff.
But the Swartzendrubers aren't a circus act. They're a dynamite duo, boasting the 2 best times in the state for the 400-meter dash. Their biggest competition is each other.
There's always a lot of comparison. They're always like, oh, who's the faster twin? That's probably like one of the most asked questions we get. Being twins, it's just always been like really competitive. We've been competitive with each other all the time. She does something, then I want to do it. I do something, then she wants to do it.
The twins know each other like they know themselves.
That's a good part of it, 'cause it's almost like seeing, you know, not a different version of you, but like, you know, saying, oh, if she can do it, I can do it.
They run neck and neck, but their skill sets are a little different.
And they are individuals. You know, Sydney's a little more high on the aerobic end of the spectrum, and Addison more on the power strength end of it.
Sydney has the best half-mile time in the state, while Addison is an elite sprinter. Both will compete at the Drake Relays for the 3rd year, and they know the Blue Oval well.
That is one of my favorite places, like, ever. Like, we've been going there since we started doing track. Our dad has pulled us out of school since we were 9 to go there. We've always grown up and watched other people compete there, so it's really special to get to run there ourselves now.
There's fierce competition on and off the track for sure, but the twins are certain of one thing.
I love competing against Addison, but she's a teammate, so I think that's the best part now is, like, when we were growing up, it was like always me against her, but now it's like we're a team.
Stay with us. We'll have one more check of your forecast when we return.
Here's a final check on your 8-day forecast. We're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies today and tomorrow. Chances of rain go up here for Friday and this weekend.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching News 8 Now. You can catch us again at 5 and 6. Have a great afternoon, everyone. We will catch you later.